my story's not a terribly original one, I'm afraid. I was raped when I was in college. It was broad daylight and we'd been partying at the annual
I've been
spring festival.
expecting you.
I'd had way too much to drink, and so I went home to my off-campus apartment to sleep it off. It was the middle of the day, maybe 4 o'clock. I'd like to say I remember locking the apartment door behind me, but my roommates and I didn't carry our keys. I think I fastened the flimsy door handle lock to my bedroom before I passed out. But next thing I knew, I woke up on my back with him on top of me, raping me. I screamed and yelled for help. His eyes bugged out, jumped off.
Please, Grandma,
ran
I'd
out
like
the
to
door,
listen.
tugging up his pants. My windows were open. I remember seeing the guys from the neighborhood fraternity out on the street tossing a frisbee when I came home. Yet none of them came to help me. They must have heard me. Chances are they were as drunk as I was. The next time was a couple weeks later. My roommates and I were celebrating their upcoming graduation with a bunch of their friends. At the end, I ushered everyone down the long hall and out the front door. As I closed the door, there he was, hiding behind it. Grabbed me and kissed me hard, like he was gagging me. He pushed me into my room, forced me onto my bed, and while one hand held my hands firmly in place above my head, he did everything he needed to do one-handed. I was just too drunk to fight back. He was too muscly for me to even stand a chance anyway. The worst part was, I became pregnant. I just couldn't seem to tell anyone what had happened. I almost did on a couple of occasions, but as time went on, silence became easier. A friend of mine arranged a trip to a clinic so I could have an abortion. I'd been raped. I was just a junior in college. I had no means to take care of... I couldn't even pay for it. I borrowed the money from my friend and paid her back before the fall semester began. I somehow made it through the picket lines, though I wanted to yell in one man's face, "I was raped, you idiot. You can't tell me what I should and shouldn't do." Instead, I just held fast to my friend's hand. I entered in an altered state, cocooned inside my head, like I was watching from a seat somewhere behind my eyes. I decided to approach the experience as if I was an undercover journalist following the story. My tactic would have worked too if it wasn't for the physician who, just before he raped or whatever it is they do, said, "Oh, look, we
Grandma,
have twins."
would you like some lemonade?
He hadn't
No,
said that.
it's all right.
He believed what I was doing real. Years later, I got married, and following the birth of our first child, those words would haunt my dreams and my awake state so much that I contemplated suicide for the first time in my life. It wasn't even until after the birth of my second child that I learned that what I'd experienced wasn't normal postpartum depression. So I was encouraged to get the counseling help I needed. I learned I was suffering a post-traumatic stress disorder. And somewhere deep in my mind, I was sure I was not even worthy to be a mom since I'd done that. I blamed myself for the rapes. Actually, I didn't even call them rapes till she pointed out what they were. Prior, I thought of them as shameful, drunken, one-night stands. It wasn't until my counselor asked me, "If you were drunk and someone stole your purse, would you blame yourself?" That was when I finally understood it wasn't my fault.
Why tell your story today?
I can't stand hearing all the reports of closing abortion clinics or of politicians trying to pass new legislation that will reduce access. And of the people who do come out and tell their story only to be questioned as if they're merely attention seekers. Rape is a deeply personal, scary thing. The victim is twice or maybe even 3 times victimized for being raped, for thinking it was her fault, and for reporting it too late for any penalty to befall the rapist. Add the side effect of an unwanted pregnancy onto that, she's victimized and stigmatized and humiliated.
Grandma, I need to tell you something.
What would you say to those listening who can relate to your story?
Tell someone, anyone. It's the secret that builds up, that's poison in your system and can lead to thoughts of suicide. Once I got the help, I became strong again. Whole. Who knows, maybe I could have faced my attacker